Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Taurus. November 2020, Scorpio season. Let's give a shuffle, Taurus, and see what's in store for you this coming month. So it's the 23rd of October today, so officially we are in Scorpio, your opposite sign. Smooth sailing for you this month. If it's been difficult, which with this card, the Six of Swords, it often indicates that it has been a bit of a tricky month in terms of the element of air, which often sort of revs things up, or it's like wind, it just blows in the wrong direction at the wrong time and just makes us feel unsettled, especially the Taurus, the earth types. They don't really like it because it's very sort of unpredictable, isn't it? Air, wind. So things smooth sailing to a better place than we have been in the last month, Taurus is. So let's look to see where you are right now. Judgment. Paying those karmic debts have been paid off. So whatever it was that was happening in the last month, October, air element, you sort of kind of paid back a few debts. And by that I mean to people or situations. Just, you know, making things right after a wrong, so to speak. Saying sorry, forgiving somebody, all that sort of stuff is kind of a karmic debt, if you like. But the Judgment card's a very strong card, and it also talks about, to me, it's almost a very sort of, it's momentous in terms of when you get this card, it means that you've kind of done what you needed to do to rectify a situation. Let's see the influence, Taurus. The influence is the Ten of Cups. So this is the family card, really. How things look on the surface can be quite deceiving sometimes, because we all sort of look at other people's families or lives and think, oh, they're perfect, this is good, this is bad. But I think especially for Taurus, somehow the unsettled conditions of September, October have kind of been resolved in a way, or they will be resolved with the Ten of Cups. Family situations coming to the end of an emotional cycle, if you will, as well. So whatever that means to you, you've sort of sorted something out within the family, I'm getting. And things will sort out with the family, no matter what. So you mustn't worry about, oh, what if this happens with them? What if that happens? Just know that it will work out how it's meant to work out without you interfering your own mind with these issues. That makes sense? Okay, let's see the background of the situation in order to see where we are. King of Swords, clear thinking, very clear clarity of thought he brings in, but it also brings in this sort of male person, male energy. So there might be somebody in the family, Taurus, who is maybe, because it's family oriented, maybe he feels a bit sort of left out or something, but he's going with the flow. But who would know really what he emotionally feels, because he wears that armor. So maybe just consider that person as well. It's almost like, and it's usually sort of these family oriented situations, the women are always sort of at the centre of it, and the men sometimes sort of sit out, don't they, and say very little. So yeah, somehow he needs to be inclusive of it, or just ask him, what do you think about the current situation? If you know what I mean. But the overall meaning of this card is about clarity of thought. Be clear about things. Don't be under any false impressions about what's going on. You know, people might say something but mean another. Especially with the male people, they tend to just fob us girls off as, yeah, it's okay, but you kind of know by their body language that really it isn't, but we'll never get to the bottom of it, but just knowing is enough. Recent influences, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So this might be emotional, so this is very much a Scorpio card, Taurus, so just watch for that in the next 4 weeks, because Scorpio can be very tricky. There can be a lot of in my opinion and in my experience in the Scorpio time, there can be a lot of almost nastiness coming out of some people. So just tread carefully, and especially with this chap here, like, just be careful. He might be just going with the flow just because he finds, men often find with us over emotional females, oh, whatever, just say what you have to say and don't worry about it. But yeah, just watch out for him, because I feel like he needs some kind of, yeah, just quiet support really, because he's feeling a bit out. So this might be, if it seems too good to be true, and just watch that throughout the Scorpio season, because often it can be a bit of an illusion, if you know what I mean. It's a bit Disneylandish in my interpretation. So don't take things at face value this month, because a lot gets churned up in Scorpio time. A lot of stuff comes up from the depths, if you know what I mean. A lot of emotional stuff. It's water, don't forget, Taurus. So there's a lot of emotion and things at the bottom of the ocean that tend to float up to the top at this time of year. People can be quite snaky. The lesson you'll be learning, King of Coins, and that's your card. Proceed with caution. Yes, the King of Coins is he's very much a mentor. He's a person that we'd go to ask advice, and we'd get very short answer to our questions, but they would be very sort of spot on, very well considered. He is one of the favourite of the kings because he's very earthed. So just trust that earthiness of yourselves this month, because it is swamped with water, and water can sometimes flood earth. So keep grounded too this month, especially with all this water around. Might be a bit too much. You might feel like you're under a tsunami of emotions, Taurus, in this next 4 weeks. Near future. And in comes the King of Wands. Oh, male energy really coming through, Taurus, this time. So the King of Wands is a wanderer, but he's also a leader. He's the sort of person that he commands the ship, if you like. He sort of has a lot to say, and he's also a person that comes and goes, if you know what I mean. He's a sort of international troubleshooter, or he's a person that flies in and flies out, if you get what I mean. But he's very creative as well. So you've got these three very much male energy around in this Scorpio time, which is interesting, especially for the females. There's a lot of this strong male energy to kind of, for Taurus to kind of really take that lead on things and just be, yeah, keep things moving, I suppose, with the King of Wands. Be creative, because it can be a bit of a rough time Scorpio. We'll get to the bottom of that by looking at what's going on that you're not realising. Fear for fear's sake, a lot of stress. So it can be so in Scorpio that there is a lot of stress with people because they don't really feel the energy of what's happening in the water times. It's quite, it can be really choppy or it can be really stagnant. But don't get into your head about things, especially if you've got all this. You need this strong male energy this month, because this can bring up a lot of stuff, a lot of people talking, a lot of people saying things, stressing you out, Taurus. So you need to just be firm and grounded and don't sort of fall into, you know, illusion of what's going on. And that can often happen in Scorpio time. It is, like I said, it can be fraught. So don't be stressed, because it can be quite stressful this month. Or this 4 weeks, I should say. Just keep grounded. How others see you. Ace of Wands, moving through things, lots of energy, being sort of very proactive and action-minded. So people actually wouldn't, they kind of know that if they project all their angst onto you, you'll be just like, look, no, let's just move on. Look, we don't have time to wallow into this stuff. Let's just get things happening. Let's be grounded. Let's move on. Let's try and keep a handle on this kind of, it's a bit of a rough patch. But other people see you as a leader in this point, just to get them out of that sort of swampy, sort of stagnant that it can be sometimes. What you're feeling positive about? Staying grounded, being grounded, just keeping on, getting things done, not being sort of swept up in all this emotion and all this he said, she said. There's a lot of stuff goes around in Scorpio time. People can be really quite nasty as well. So your main issue is just to keep grounded and focused. Don't be swept away by gossiping or other people's stress or family, you know, people getting all het up and Christmas is coming. People start to get over the top about stuff. Stay grounded. The outcome. And then we have a bit of grief to address at the end of this time, or things, you know, because Scorpio can dig up old wounds, old grief. Family time as well can make us think of those who have gone to the unseen world, which can, you know, often it comes in and out, and often I find in the Scorpio time it can really latch on. That grief can come, you know, rushing back in at you and make you feel a bit sad that certain members are no longer with us. But never mind, let's have a look. Under the grief, under the illusion, under this family issue, and under this. So underneath the influence of the Ten of Cups, which is that facade of the happy family, the, you know, everything sort of seeming okay, but is it? We have the Eight of Cups. So there might be a need just to walk away for a little bit, Taurus, this month from potential sort of beefs and griefs with the family or emotional connections with the family. Just don't pay too much attention. You know, focus more on work and what you can do. You know, don't get sort of caught into, because you can see here, he's underwater. Don't get caught into other people's drama. Let's see what's underneath this illusion card, or what it seems too good to be true. It probably is. We have strength, so rely on that strong challenge, accept the challenge sort of energy, just accept and move forward with the challenge rather than getting hooked into the negativity of emotions or people being mean. Just try and move on with strength. Just get on with whatever it is you've got to get on to. Don't be, you know, swamped by people promising things that you know that they can't deliver. Especially family members too. They can be like, oh, it'll be all right. But you know, well, let's just move through. Let's see what's happening that you're not realising, but this is this fear-filled, nightmarish, unable to sleep card. It's just anxiety plus. Yeah, destiny. So, you know, whatever is created here, however you manage this, you can manage it, but don't hook into it, Taurus. You're not people to be, you know, led down the garden path with gossip or other people's stress. You like to sort of get on with things and be practical. So using your talents of being who you are and being grounded. Otherwise you will get carried away on this wave of, you know, can be quite negative sometimes this time of year, because people struggle with those emotions. So be a destiny, and it's destiny. It's this time of year that does create this. Lots of old stuff dredged up from the bottom of the ocean, if you know what I mean, of our lives and stuff. Underneath the final outcome we have, moving forward, address the grief when it comes through, Taurus. Just go, yeah, I feel sad today, I feel sad this week, but I will feel it, and I'll feel it, I'll swallow it, and I'll move on, because once we hit the last third week of November, we move into Sagittarius, which is a lot more sort of free-flowing and fun times ahead. Quickly, because I've run it over time, determination is your message. It is you who must make the effort. The master only points the way. Determination embodies the mental quality of lasting endurance, the physical quality of healthy, vibrant earth energy, and the spiritual quality that comes in knowing you are moving in the right direction. So that's what you've got to do this month. Stay grounded, Taurus. Thank you so much for listening.